Today I will be teaching the basics of the pen tool in Photoshop and its various uses. The pen tool is located over here on the toolbar, but I'll be using the shortcut of P. So basically you use the pen tool to make paths, which are basically just vectorized things. Just showing you here, a couple of shape paths, using the anchor points. Now, you can also not just do straight paths, but you can do curved paths as well. Just drag the mouse a little bit when you're doing it to get a curved path, and then just click in to get the curve. But if you look here, there is some weird S curve thing you get. Well, in order to not get that, you hold Alt, go to the anchor point, you see a V, then click and go, and then you'll get a regular curve like you did for the first one. Now, another thing you can do is create selections with it. So basically, I'm just going to box out something here with the pen tool, and then you see that kind of just fleshed out. And basically what you do for this is you hold down Command or Control with a Mac or PC, and you press Enter, and you should get a selection of what your path was. And you can use anything from the brush tool, the gradient tool, to the paint bucket tool to fill it in. And next, I'm just going to show you a basic use of the pen tool. First, how I'll be just penning out my personal logo a little bit, and showing you the direct selection tool, which makes life a lot easier so you don't have to pen everything out perfectly the first time. So for this thing, I'm just going to zoom in, and I'm going to just pen out the basic outline of my logo. Go over here to the direct selection tool, or direct selection tool, it's shortcut A, and with this you can just click paths or anchor points and move them around and adjust them to get what you want them to look like. So, yada yada yada, I'm just going to work on this for a little bit, and you can just see how I'm moving each of the individual points, the lines, to get a better looking, less wonky looking logo. Okay, so now first thing we do is save the path. So you go over to the layers and you click paths and you double click and you can just name whatever and it saves the path there so you can keep working on it later. Or so you don't lose it when you start a new path. So you just click off of it and then you can start a new path. I'm just gonna pen out something like a leaf or something, yeah. And then you'll see on the thing, a new work path layer shows up, but your original path stays there. And then you can just switch back and forth, and you cannot select them at the same time. So I'm just going to save this one as the leaf path. Okay. And now, let's see. If you remember, I said before that you use it for vector and things and raster, so the quality won't be affected. But if you look, it's really small. So I'm gonna go to Edit, and then Free Transform Path, and I will stretch it out, and you'll lose no quality because this isn't actually a vector. This is a raster. It is a vector thing, so it won't lose any of its detail. Then you have a really big one. It still doesn't look that great. It's kind of wonky. I kind of rushed it. Sorry. So then from here, just create a new layer. What you do is hold Command, Enter, and you'll turn to a selection, and you just fill it in. So now I have a filled in. Well, my logo filled in AK. So you can do that. You can use any color. You can use a gradient, whatever. Just mess around with it a little bit. Or what you can also do is go to the brush tool, and then make it a suitable size that you can see, and then just make sure you're on a layer, and this only works with the brush tool. Just press Enter, and it just traces the path. You get the entire outline of it, and basically you have that. You can deselect it, select it, whatever, so you have an outline of your path now. Okay, and I'm also going to show you that with direct selection tool, you can also, with the curve path, if you select it, you can manipulate it in various ways. You can change the curves. And another thing you can do in Photoshop while using it is just to pen out a certain thing you would take out of a photo. In this case, I'm going to do a die, and you can use it and just take it out of the photo. So now I want something with defined edge, so you can just take the pen tool and trace along the sides, just in order for you to be able to get it out. So, let's see, I'm just going to pen out the outside of this. So, yeah. And once again, since you have the direct selection tool on your side, don't need to make everything perfect. Just get the general thing mapped out first, and then you can do the fine-tuning and adjustments later on, so you don't worry too much on your initial penning out. And as you look, you can see that I'm moving some of the paths around, changing some of the curves to fit the die better, because the initial one wasn't that great. But yeah, now you have the general idea. And then what we're going to do after this is we're going to change it into a selection, which remember is Command Enter, and then go to Selection, Invert Selection, or Inverse. So select everything around it, press Delete, and you'll be left with only what you want it to do, which is just the die. So you have that. Now I didn't choose something so great, I chose something white on a white background, but you get the general idea of it. It looks like that, and then those are the main things you can use the pen tool for, to create a vector path, in order to maybe do a basic logo or whatever, or to select something in order to take it off a photo. So yeah, I hope you learn more about the pen tool, if you didn't know anything already, and that you can utilize it better in the future. Okay, thanks.